Saigon business shoutouts for this episode are for Mila Mushroom's New York Pizza in Taodian District 2. Get the supreme pizza and taste the dream. Cholo Tequila Bar in District 2, where you can party with the Latino community in Saigon. What's up, guys? In this episode, my friend Shardale makes her Lux Saigon debut as we go into a deep conversation about spirituality. What definition of spirituality are we talking about? It's actually very simple. Being your true self. This isn't about tarot cards, crystals, or fortune telling. I know nothing about these things. All I've been interested in the past 4 years has been in seeing reality as clearly as possible, without the programmings installed in us by the systems in which we grew up. What is reality? What is this matrix? Is the matrix experiencing itself through us? But then doesn't that mean that we are the matrix? Is a wave just the ocean experiencing itself from a new perspective? Welcome to the rabbit hole on this episode of Lux Saigon.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry that I confused everybody. Okay, that's here. That's for you. Thank you so much.
Sick. Nice. Cheers.
To water. Okay, I don't want the drink in the way either. I will put the water on the side. Oh my god, somebody dropped a pill.
Oh shit.
There's a tablet there.
I wonder what kind of pill it is.
I'm gonna go obvious. Shardale, don't drop that. Not on live camera. Okay. I'm here with you.
Alright, sweet. Let me give a greeting real quick. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lux Saigon podcast. Hi.
Sorry. Angled.
It's all good. But I'm here with Shasha today. You heard about her on the conversation with Hawk. Shout out to Hawk.
Shout out to Hawk. Thank you for your advice that day as well.
True, Hawk's advice is on point.
It was very interesting to listen to.
He did a private coaching thing on me, like as a trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes real deep. He can like he says like he has like a laser knife to like open you up and.
Oh, that's nice.
But in a helpful way.
Yes, of course. Which is something that sometimes we all need because we're too scared to do that ourselves.
Yeah.
And but I actually think that we always need somebody else to help us in that journey. Like, we can't do everything on our own. Too many people think that they have to do everything on their own, and that's why we actually get a bit lonely, because we're searching for a community, we're searching for a connection.
Yeah.
And for that to be able to help to open up, like, that's what he's doing. Like, that's why we need so many coaches and teachers, and like that's their help for us.
And you know, coaches have coaches.
Yeah, and therapists should have therapists.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know how many psychologists? I'm speaking like I know so many, but I know a few who don't talk to anyone else. Like, they don't have their own therapist.
Do they meditate?
I can see the damage. Like, I can see the damage, and they're as damaged. They are as damaged. So I can see that. Anyway.
The one psychologist that I trust, I mean, he's dead now, but Dr. David Hawkins.
It sounds so familiar. Yeah. But look, I told you I'm so bad with names. I'm so bad in general. My head is, please, it's no disrespect to anybody.
No.
Yeah. But please tell me about her.
Yeah, so basically he is...
Oh, he?
Yeah. He was a PhD psychologist, but he was also like really deep into spirituality.
Okay.
Since he was a child.
Okay.
So like, I guess as he was studying right for his PhD, he's like learning both of these things at the same time, and like he's like connecting dots. And so he has a book called Letting Go, which is basically meditation. It's like how to feel a feeling and let it go. Yeah. And he has a whole book about that.
How do you feel that you are with that? With what you've learned from him? Do you feel that you are good at letting go of things and that?
I think it's a skill, right? That like...
Yeah.
Just like the more I practice, the better I get at it, I think.
Yeah, with everything.
Yeah. I don't know how good I will get at it in my lifetime. Like, hopefully really, really good. I guess, right? Like,
well, you're doing a great job. I mean, look, even what you're doing by having the podcast comes with an intention. So it's, aside from I'm sure, a service to others where you want to help others, you're helping yourself. Like, you're helping the one person that needs it, because we have to pick ourselves first.
Yeah,
right? Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. And so thank you for having me.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I started this podcast because, well, first I got into spirituality before anything else, and then I got into psychology and whatever, mindset and stuff afterwards. But I saw there's like a link between all of these things. So the purpose of this podcast is to highlight what is that link or this pattern. Like, I don't know what to call it. But
between spirituality and psychology.
Right, spirituality, psychology, self-development.
Okay.
That type of stuff.
Yeah, for a few of those things. I'm no expert, but like, I know that I can only speak from my experiences. Yeah. That's why he has me here. I'm not too sure. I'm supposed to look at you and the camera. Guys, brand new to this. I actually don't like being in front of the camera. So, awesome. Am I looking at you or there?
Oh, whichever one, doesn't matter.
You have to direction. I need direction.
Whatever feels fun to you in that moment.
Okay. Right. No. I'm looking.
It could be like House of Cards. Look at the camera.
Do they look at the camera in House of Cards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Reminds me of Chandler now. On the blooper though. The blooper appearance, yes.
Like in House of Cards, like the main character he's like talking to you about something but not looking at you, and then he'll look at you.
That's cool.
And finish the sentence.
Okay, that's cool. Alright. Oh wait, but like me, I'm moving on the chair. It's not a good idea to give me this chair. Is this gonna be
No, it's fine.
Okay, alright. Okay.
I wanted to ask you the first thing I asked you in the forest, but we were like I was so out of breath that I couldn't even continue. I was like,
well, dude, you did such a good job like being sick and then being on this man. Like on the hike.
The way into the jungle was tough.
No, impressed. Like so many people would have just cancelled and not come, but you did it. And I think it honestly healed you as well, because then you were putting yourself through a kind of exercise that you wouldn't normally do when you're sick.
It almost feels like it was like a self-sabotage of myself. Like maybe I think a part of me was feeling lazy to go and was like, hey, let's get hurt and not go.
It happens like that. We're tested like that. Yeah.
So then I was like,
it's good that you see it that way too.
I was like, but I already paid you, let's go.
I already paid, let's go. So the money, look, that's a good factor anyway though, like, I mean, because things ain't cheap.
It's like some coaches will say, like, if someone pays, then they will pay attention.
Yeah, that's
I think
true.
It's true.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so right. So the question that I asked you in the forest was, what does spirituality mean to you?
Right, so
it's such a broad, like...
It is. So because it's such a broad perspective, I did sit with this. I sat with myself and, asked myself a few questions on this. And I then looked at online. And TikTok is honestly should not be banned in America. It shouldn't be banned at all, because people can hate on TikTok. But actually, it's such a good tool to connect everybody. I honestly think that's also why it wants to be shut down, or people want to shut it down, because it's connecting the world in a way that it normally wouldn't. We are able to jump into different parts of the world that we would never normally be able to because of TikTok. We are able to like see so much of the truth that's happening in the world because of TikTok. And people are able then to find their communities and connect with one another, even the Delulu ones. Like they all get to find themselves there. And like, so when I actually searched spirituality, crazy how many things picked up. And I mean, look, just from some of my normal searches and AI listening to me on the phone, there's some things that like, popped up on my algorithm in terms of spirituality. And then, but yeah, like searching on this, it was really cool. It was really interesting to hear others' perspectives of this. And then also, like also see how maybe misdirected some people might be on things, because like we have to admit, as much as there's many perspectives, we can't also like say all of them is right. We actually need to pick what feels true to us. Yes, what feels true, I would say.
Go with your gut.
Completely. So before I actually tell you what I think in a way, there's a few that I want to actually read out of what people like have said. I don't know everybody's name. I'm like really sorry about that. Maybe we can talk about each one as it goes. And then like I'll get to mine, because mine actually connects in a big way. I wrote what I said first, and so then when I found this, it was almost as if I was being given the answers about like different things.
It's almost like there's a link between all of this.
Oh yeah, you know. Good. Pew.
I'm really curious to hear these quotes.
Okay, so this is by Donnie Morell, and he said spirituality is about finding and discovering myself, finding and discovering God within me and within others, and being truly at peace with how I am and how unique I am in this world.
Nice.
Okay. What he said. Oh, I even asked ChatGPT. I just want to say.
What did you ask her exactly?
What is spirituality?
Okay.
ChatGPT is very like insightful and very cool. Like I really like ChatGPT.
One time I asked Alexa, "What is infinity?" and she told me it's something with no ending and no beginning.
Nice.
I was like, "Damn, Alexa!"
Yeah. dropping soul things for you.
I was like, "Holy shit!"
Okay. All right. So. Do you want me to tell you the ChatGPT one?
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So, spirituality is a broad and deeply personal concept that encompasses a sense of connection to something greater than oneself. It often involves exploring questions about the meaning and purpose of life, as well as seeking deeper understanding of the universe, existence, and one's own place within it.
Cool.
That was ChatGPT's one.
Are these like your favorite?
No, I picked the ones that like I really liked. Yes. Okay, this is by Jennifer Le. So she said there is more to life than what we can see, and more to life than what science can explain or is yet to. The awareness of what and who we are more than our bodies. We are divine and eternal. We are energetic, vibrational beings. We are connected and one with a higher power, a higher source that is truly infinite and limitless. Therefore, we are powerful, and that's why we have the ability to create and manifest. So Jennifer hits so many points in what she's saying, which connected to what Danny was saying in finding and discovering God within me. As she says that we're more than our bodies. Yeah. We're divine and we're eternal.
Especially when she says like, and that's why you can manifest.
Yes. Because in so many of us, including myself, okay, I'm not like a master at this. I'm evolving. I just want to say this, right? Like, I'm not some guru here, okay? Sorry, I lost my train. Alright, so including all of us, like we're all on this journey of like finding ourselves, right? And connecting with ourselves. Sorry.
This is your quote, right?
Yeah, that's Jennifer. Okay. Spirituality is being conscious and aware. And I remember we were talking about what it means to be conscious and then like what your subconscious is saying too.
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, so being conscious and aware.
Damn.
The process of being conscious is a lot different to the process of being positive. We must become authentic to include and sit with all that makes us what we are, and to love every part of one's self. Right? And someone had written a quote under this and said, when I became spiritual, I became friends with my sadness, grief, fear, insecurity, and I feel all of those things all the time. Right? I'm going to stop there before I get to mine. I think that many of us don't sit with ourselves and we don't sit with how we're feeling.
That's true.
And we kind of shame ourselves for feeling the bad things. Like when we are feeling the anger and the fear and anxiety, instead of like embracing them, because it's like all of them is a part of us. And we've discussed the voices in your head. The voices that all belong to us. I mean, yes, my voices belong to me. There are many different sides to me. There are many different voices that are like a management board, you know, and they all need to actually get on the same agreement of all the situations that we are in life. It's an everyday daily choice. Like, hey, are you in today? Are we gonna go to the gym today? Are you guys all into this? Like, you know, are we gonna wake up and do meditation today? Are we gonna go do the yoga? Are we gonna be kind to others? Are we all in agreement here? You know, that we're gonna be making these choices together? Because there's always going to be a voice that's going to be like, oh no, let's stay at home, we don't need to do that, like, you know, or we can do it another day. And it is up to me as the driver to be able to say to that voice, I know you're feeling lazy today, but I know you're going to feel better when we do it. Let's go. I think I heard somebody else say that those voices are like your inner child, right? It's like inner versions, inner small children that are there.
Okay, now that you mentioned that, like, imagine when you tell, like, when, like, the kid asks, like, but why do I have to do this? Like, and then you say, because you have to. The kid never...
We've all been there.
Yeah. But what if you actually help him find a reason for doing it? Then his mind might be like, oh, okay, let's go.
I actually have to say, I commend the generation of parents that we have now. Our age of parents, because I think that they are trying to break the patterns of previous parental roles and how we spoke to kids. I'll give my my best friend Fiona, for example. Like, one of my best friends, because, you know, I have so many. They'll have an argument with me, like, who's your best friend? But she is, you know, wifey. So watching her as a mom to our kid Kai, his name's Kyan, he's a lovely kid, and listening to how she used to speak to him from the time he was a toddler, and when he used to do something wrong or he saw something that he didn't understand, and listening to the way she spoke through all of those things was amazing. And if he had to do something, she did give the reason. She did explain why that needs to be done. And I have to say, it definitely inspired me and influenced me as a teacher too, because when the kids are talking to me in class, I'm not just like their teacher. I'm another parental role that they have. I'm another adult in their life. And so it's important what I say to them.
It's influence.
Completely. And so, like, when they're speaking about things that might seem small to someone, it's big to them. They're really listening to you. Perfect example. Today, I have a student called Lily, and there's a girl in the class, Sam, that nobody likes. They're all so mean to her, right? It's actually so, like, I feel horrible, but I go there, I honestly feel like a therapist with how I have to deal with everybody in this class, and they hate for this girl.
Why do they hate her?
She's too emotional.
Oh, man.
So, one, she's too emotional, and then two, because she's emotional, she kind of uses her emotions to, one, maybe hit someone, like, you know, like she'll hit them on the shoulder or whatever, or she'll just have an attitude really quickly, and maybe she'll have it, like, I wouldn't say a tantrum, not like, you know, like on the floor tantrum, but like stomping away or like, you know, something like that. Wow, I just had a glimpse at myself at one age, because like I know that when I'm mad and I'm irritated and I'm not communicating and dealing with it, then like I'm very loud with the stuff around me. Like maybe I'll close the cupboard door really loudly, or like whatever I'm doing is just there's extra emphasis in what I'm doing, right? And then like if I'm crying, like you gotta know that I'm crying, so there's long like snips. And like I just want to say I did this well into my 30s, so it's not like this was just like a kid thing, you know. Anyway, Sam. So Sam acts emotionally, and then she doesn't really seem like a team player. She is interested. She's hardworking. She listens to everything I say in the class. She attends to everything. She gets upset if I don't let her answer questions, and I have to talk to her about that.
Wait, what grade is this?
Like it's grade 3. And I have to talk to her about that. Like I have to be like, hey, you need to be a bit more mature about this. There's 30 other kids in the class. You need to know that I have to give everybody an opportunity. So if you miss out on this round of questions, there's going to be another chance for you to be, get an Oscars. And I give raffle tickets. I have, the raffle ticket thing, and then they get the prize at the end of the month or the semester.
Nice.
And so, oh my God, those things are golden. Raffle tickets are golden. They're like so serious about it. They don't even understand that the sticker chart that we have. So for listeners, let me just explain. So in the company that Nick and I work at, there is a sticker chart that if they reach a certain amount of sticker charts, they get a prize. So that prize is guaranteed. They need to finish the sticker chart and then they get a prize. But the raffle ticket is, of course, like completely random. And so the raffle ticket is them collecting all these tickets. And then at the end of the month, there's only 3 prizes and then they get to pick one. We pick the winners. We pick the winners, right, of it. And when I asked them, okay, do you want the raffle ticket or the sticker? They picked the raffle ticket because the logic of like nobody thought that, hey, the sticker chart is actually like a assured prize. In a way, it's like how people take the harder path than the simple path, right? But it's because they don't realize that. It's
like they assume that the harder one is better because it's harder.
Yes.
Damn, is that what we're doing too as adults?
I think in a way, definitely. Right. Okay, so Sam, right? So Lily came today to tell me that she doesn't want to sit next to Sam. And Lily's a smart, intelligent girl. Honestly, I can't wait. I hope that they still stay in contact with me because some of the students that I have over my life, I really want to see what they become. Because I become so attached to them, and they're like my little kids, So anyway, so Lily was wanting to move her place from Sam today, and she explained her frustration, and she's like, she's just really annoying. I feel like I've had enough. Can I move my seat? And like, she said it like that. I'm not even lying, right? And then I said, okay, look, I can change your seat for now, for my class. That's 1.5 hours. But you sit with her the whole day. I'm not your homeroom teacher. I'm just your English teacher. So you need to speak to your homeroom teacher. Have you done that? And then she said, no, I just spoke to my mom. I was like, okay, but the person who really has the power to change your position is your homeroom teacher. And you need to go and chat with her and then just express how you're feeling. That she put you next to her as well because you were such a bright student and a kind student. And I think you showed that to Sam for a long time, which Lily even told me when I met her. She said, I really tried. We all tried to be friends with her, but she just kept annoying us. That is, and our kids are always so innocent. I mean, sorry, innocent. They're innocent, but they're vocal. They don't care about like her feelings in a way, but that's because they're not even considering that, hey, that might be mean. They just are honest and they say, she's annoying us. We tried and like we don't want to sit next to her. I wasn't actually seeing it as them bullying her. I actually even realized that my reaction was like, oh, shh, be kind, you don't need to say that. But when I looked at how she was speaking to them, it was exactly the same. They were giving each other the same level of communication. Sam was speaking to them in the way that they were speaking to her. And Lily, I told her, you need to go and express that you have tried, and you would like to move your seat. There is a seat available next to another student which she likes. Go make the effort to talk to your homeroom teacher instead of just coming to me, number one, and then instead of complaining to Sam's face. I was just so happy to have that conversation with her as a little adult, because we need to. Who's going to actually explain that to us if not?
That's true.
An adult, somebody older than us. Yeah. I mean, I would not be the way that I am if it wasn't for the older role models who have helped me along. And I really think that maybe in the past few years, it's also where I kind of lost my way because I wasn't always engaging with so many older than me. I mean, just my sister and my partner. That's it. And then, I think I just closed off two things. Like, don't get me wrong, that sounds wrong that I said that's it. Like, I had two people in my life, but I don't think I was ready to receive the advice sometimes. Like, I listened, maybe I
guess that's how we learn, right? Like,
yeah, maybe I said no sometimes, but yeah, I'm learning now. I'm here.
We're doing a job.
Yeah. I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, did I even ask you, how did you become interested in spirituality in the first place?
Ooh. That would be, I'd probably say it was my sister, Trishana. She's 6 years older than me. And so when I was 15 or 16, she's the one who actually, I would say, spoke more about that, was more open about that with me as she was exploring things in her life. Because then she would have been like, what, 21? Yeah. Or 22, like somewhere around there. And she found, like, at that time phones were not like as huge as they are now. She found spiritual groups that like would meet. They would have conventions or something
in
like
person?
with it. Yeah, like they would have like those. I don't know if you've ever been to a spiritual convention, but it's like it has a lot of like-minded people around the same place, and then also like a lot of mediums and spiritual therapists or tarot reading, like that kind of thing. And then so I think she met them through them. I could be wrong. She'll correct me after this conversation, but like that is where it would have started. And she's always been a fantastic mentor in my life. Growing, I mean, to this day, she is my number one guru, mentor, spiritual guide. She and I were definitely connected in our past lives, and we keep choosing each other in each life. Like,
That's
I can feel that. She and I can feel that. Our relationship is very. She's my mom and I'm her daughter, but in a strong manner. Like, I can feel that. I can definitely feel that connection with her. But sisters and best friends from head to toe, no judgment, safe box. Like,
nice.
I really, really appreciate her. She's been amazing in my life. And through her mentoring and learning, I got to just listen and engage and then reflected on my life as things were going by. And we just kind of learned together. I gotta say though, because in the last few years I've like shut it down in a way, in a big way, because I was struggling with my mental health. That since the last few months, if not like the past year, when I'm finally opening myself up to what I was doing in my spiritual journey, it's like been overflowing. It's been overflowing, like the amount of work that's being done, even just since coming here in January. Like,
you're always evolving.
It is crazy, but I feel like everything was clogged up and they were waiting for me. Like, they were waiting for me.
Or something got like,
and and then it's just been like boom, like I feel like it's been clogged.
That sounds like when someone clears like a chakra blocking or something, right?
Complete.
Just like a flow.
Completely. That's how that feels. And there's so much going on, and there's so much evolving, as we said. I mean, even the amount of writing that I've been doing, like I told you, I started writing recently, and then in no time, like I'm on 18 or 19 pages, which from someone who stopped writing completely to be able to do that now.
And it's like vulnerable stuff that it's not easy to write about too. So like that shows the work from the spirituality.
It isn't. It's been amazing. The writing has been I think we should all write.
Yeah.
As I pick up my pen. So many people already know what to do. Like, we all, on a material level or superficial level, give really good advice. We just don't take it. We just don't practice it. There's so many people that speak about being a certain way, or writing, or meditating. You should do this, you should do that. But like, if you're not actually doing it, then you're missing out on what you're preaching.
Yeah.
And the writing thing, I've heard it so many times throughout my life. I have given that advice so many times about writing. And I used to write a lot. I did write a lot as a kid and as a teenager. And unfortunately, there was just an incident where my mom had read my diary. And I mean, look, she's a parent. And I think at that time, I was quite angry. Like, I was quite an angry teenager in that space of time. And she must have just been worried. She did something that really, of course, she shouldn't have done. Yeah. But as a parent, I do understand that she went to go and read it, right? I get it. But I would say that kind of broke a part of me from writing again and writing honestly with myself again. And I, again, have always advised that, but then I just stopped. And I did write a bit in university, especially when I was dealing with death. And so not many people know this, but I dated somebody in university. His name was Adir, and it was intense love happened, really, really lovely. He was a lovely man. And he died in a car accident. And I was 19, 20. So I was young, I was quite young. And when he died, that would have been the biggest break of, like, I literally felt my heart tear. I literally felt that feeling. And I had an essay to write in university, and I wrote about his death. Like, I wrote about it. And now, not many people know the story, because I really like, my friend Chelsea told me recently, she said she actually forgot, like, that had happened. Not forgot, but we were having a conversation about this. And then she said, my friend, you don't wear that, like, as an armor. It's not something that I've carried with me, that I have just been like, oh, my name is Shardale, and I have a dead boyfriend. Like, that's not how I introduce myself. It's not like that comes out as a part of me. Right. And she said it in a way that it's not like I made myself victim to the event, right? And I hope that's the right word, victim. I'm not trying to. I just hope you understand what I mean.
She said you like, your vibes were like you were the victim or were not the victim?
I'm not. Like, I didn't wear it. It's not part of my armor.
Nice.
It's not part of that. I don't carry that with me. I think that's because I did so much writing about it. Like, I did a lot of healing about it at the time.
Nice.
And so it is something that I have healed from. I have healed from his death. Like, it really shaped my life. It really was a tragic part of my life. I went through a lot of soul searching and hell in that time. And spirituality probably would have been what brought me back, because I lost my faith in religion at the time. And I had
were you in before that?
Christianity. I come from a strong Baptist family, and both my grandparents are pastors. So, I mean, I also grew up as a Sunday school teacher, as a youth leader. I would be going around with them to different churches that were in Durban, and I'm from South Africa, and so and like from Durban, and so that was the kind of culture that I was raised in. So I was also raised in a lot of that kind of world, the world of praying and kindness and service to others. And I mean, for that, I thoroughly love my grandparents for giving me that. I grew up with them most of my life. Yes, so when he died, I definitely questioned a lot. I was a Sunday school teacher when he died, and then I had to stop. Like, I told him, I said, I'm sorry, like, I can't do this properly. Like, I'm not going to be giving the kids a true testament of what, the mission is here. And so, like, I had gotten out of that. And then I went through a nice whirlwind of things, of drinking. Like, I mean, look, after he died, I drank solidly for like 2 weeks. I think I just didn't drink when I went for his funeral or when I went to see the family. Like whenever I was going to the house, then like I wouldn't. And all the rest of the time, then like I was drinking. And what stopped me from drinking was one, I grew up with a dad who was an alcoholic. He did find help, but it was always an ever like a struggle. It really, really was a struggle.
It's challenging.
It really is. And I mean, love him. He did his best, and he had his own journey and choices to make, but anyway, because of the history with him and always knowing that I have that in like my genes, I would call myself out on that. And what really helped is, even the one day I'll never forget, is I had passed out in the lounge and I woke up. It was like 7 a.m, and then my sister, the same one, Trishana, she'd opened up the door, and like I had just woken up, and literally like my hand was just hanging in the bottom by the bottle. It was a Southern Comfort, which is the drink that Adir and I drank like a lot. And oh my god, I can't remember. It's very sweet. Southern Comfort is very sweet. And like he was drinking it the day he died. It was not his fault, the car accident. His cousin had driven into a pole, and then the pole had fallen on Adir.
So he was driving and he was in the passenger seat?
Yeah, and it was a convertible.
Dang.
And he punctured his lungs. Both of them.
The cousin too?
No, just my boyfriend. Yeah, just him. The cousin lived. Yeah, the cousin did live.
It's challenging for him too.
I'm sure.
It's a whole other challenge.
I'm sure. I have no idea what's happened to him.
Dang, I had a friend back in my hometown that he got drunk and he drove into the highway on the wrong side of the highway. I don't know how, but he hit somebody and killed somebody, and then had to go to jail for that. Yeah. That's
horrible.
I hope he's out now.
Can't imagine the pain of that. Like,
we were just kids. We were like 18, 19 or something.
Insane. I hope that he's
17.
well. I hope that he's well and he's also healed from that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many things happen in our lives that like it's so traumatic, it's so big.
Yeah.
And so many of us think that we can't move past it, but we really can.
True.
So exactly in what I just said, like I never thought that I could get over his death, but I did.
Yeah.
I found a sense within myself through the journey. And sorry, I didn't finish the story. When my sister caught me that morning and I was going to the bottle, she just asked like, is that from today? Is that from now or from last night? And she made a joke about it. She was just joking about it, but that actually put me
triggered.
Yeah, it put me there because I didn't want to follow history,
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that I try to break the generational cycles of things.
True. That's good.
Our parents were only doing what was best, but they were also just learning as they were going by. So I can't be too hard on them as well.
It's like I forget who said like this is everybody's first time experiencing life.
Yeah. I mean, to an extent, we'll talk about that. But like, it's true.
My family came here like about maybe 2 months ago now, and my grandma said something like that she had learned from her mom that it's good to always stay busy so you don't have to hear your thoughts. So I was like, my grandma has never like let go of shit.
Yeah, that's not good at all. Can you imagine? And I do know some people who are not able to sit in silence. They're not able to sit with their thoughts.
She's on her phone now, my grandma. She has Facebook. I don't know how, but she learned how to use Facebook.
My grandmother also got Facebook. On my dad's side, my dad's mom, definitely. It was very impressive. Hey, my grandfather now, my mom's dad, like, he's able to, like, he's on WhatsApp now. I never thought that he would, like, be able to do that, but he did. And it just shows you, no matter how old you are, no matter what generation you come from, you're still able to evolve and change, no matter what age,
Yeah, she can still learn that skill.
Yeah.
There's still time.
That's cool.
I hope she does, because, like, she should have a nice final phase of their life, right? Like,
I agree.
It would suck to go out complaining, man. Because I feel I feel like she's gonna get trolled by the universe because she keeps saying like, I think I'm gonna die soon. But I think she's gonna live extra long.
Yeah.
Just to hear herself keep saying.
Yeah. But I mean, look, that's the choice that her spirit is making as well, you know, or her soul in a way, to experience that. I mean, why do you ever ask yourself, like, why? Have you ever had that question, like, why did these people die and why did these people not? Like, has it ever happened, like, where you've had that experience where you're like, why that person?
I mean, I've never thought about it, but if I think about it right now,
yeah,
it's like, what is it? Just part of the journey of the universe?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, I don't know what else. Like,
yeah. Have you experienced a close death?
Not yet, I guess. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I don't mean this in like, there's a thing when you experience a close death. So funny enough that I just spoke about Adir. But I have had somebody, like, when he died, there was a succession of somebody dying every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Like, whether it was... So it was actually before... One of my best friends, Verona, she committed suicide. And she would have been, like, the first knock of death. And her death was a catalyst to even me getting out of an abusive relationship. Because when I read her suicide note, I thought I was reading myself.
Damn.
And it was to her boyfriend at the time and their relationship. And I was in a physically and emotionally abusive relationship at that time. And I didn't even tell anybody that he had hit me. Like, I just kept that to myself. And then when she had died, like, that was like a huge, like, oh my God, what the hell? Like, I need to get out of this, you know. And anyway, so it was her death, and then it was Adir, and then it was Fiona's dad, and then it was my dad, and my dad even died on like the first year of me going to South Korea, like, and doing the ESL teaching thing. Not like 6 or 7 months later, he had died, and it was crazy. And yeah, I mean, I've had some really intense deaths. 3 years ago would have been another one of my best friends, Suresh, who died as well. My grandmother and my dad I would have actually seen them last, like, in a good way, at the airport when I left for South Korea. My grandmother had a stroke while I was in Korea, and so then when I saw her again, which was when my dad died, she'd had like another stroke by then, and it was probably the last time I would have, because of his death, I was able to have my last sane conversation with her, where she was okay. And you know, and then after that, the stroke obviously got worse. Not that she couldn't speak, sorry, don't get me wrong, but she also went through a big spiritual existential crisis at the time too, I feel, because it was like she had done everything well. She was a pastor. She was one of the most amazing women that I know, who served others completely. And I think, like, I remember her saying, like, I did everything well. Like, why did I have this stroke? Why am I like this? You know?
Have you heard of Ram Dass?
You told me about him before, but please, I actually didn't. I didn't hear about him before.
I guess
you
he
mentioned
was.
it.
This story is pretty cool. He was one of the Harvard scientists that helped create LSD.
Nice.
But
cool.
then that the LSD became illegal, so they canceled their program and everything. So they lost their jobs. But he had tripped too, and I guess his gut feeling was saying go to India, and he went to India and found some guru, and then he said, like, when I talk to this guy, it feels like my trip. It feels like my acid trip.
Oh my gosh, and that's like sober, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So then he like, I guess, like, became his student or whatever.
Yeah.
Then later he goes back to America, and the guy tells him, like, yeah, go help people to wake up and stuff. So he did it for many, many years, and then at the end of his life he has a stroke. and he makes a Netflix documentary. It's still there right now, I think, where he's like talking after the stroke, and he's saying like, I don't wish anybody the stroke, but I wish them the grace from the stroke.
And she was nothing but graceful, I think about. Yeah, definitely. It's amazing to have people that are strong that way. Till the day they die. Completely amazing.
I think they're alchemists.
Yeah, like the spiritual journey that we pick for ourselves and the purpose that we have in this world, it all comes in connection with one another. And so like your spirit chose to be on this journey, and you're figuring out how to like be of service to others and to yourself, and then you started this podcast. So just like Ramdas did the same with his journey, and we had led him and how many people then he would have influenced through that journey. And then my grandmother as well, like with her journey and the people that were in her life. I've been so interested in how service of others is also a different type of perspective, and how it can change in a variety of ways. And people think that service of others needs to be like, oh, like you're reaching thousands. It's not about that. It's about the people in your community. It's about the people that are just around you. It's wherever you go, you're able to touch another person's life just simply by being your authentic self, right? And the meaning of authentic self is another thing, right? But I certainly find that people make that too much of pressure on themselves, like, oh, you told me to be kind, you told me to give service, you told me to, I need to like, and then people are like, oh, okay, I need to make something on Instagram that's gonna explode, and everyone's looking for those likes and for those follows and stuff. But it's not about that. Like, it is just about reaching. Yeah, it should be fun. And like, this is fun for you, right? Yeah. The writing has been fun for me. I mean, you've seen, I started my blog in 2012 when I went to Korea. And then I stopped writing for a few years now, and then like I've come back here and I've put out like 4 or 5 blogs and blog posts, and it's been really cool like to see how much is coming out, and that's because I really like it and I tapped into it.
And do you feel like as you're writing it, like as you're writing the blog post, things start making more sense to you, because like you're seeing everything that you were thinking. It's like, oh, this makes sense now. Completely. Oh my gosh, we digress so much, Nick. But I hope that everything linked up to each other and connected. Yeah. I'm really curious to know, like, who are your favorite spiritual teachers? I guess you like Bashar, right? The guy that you showed me on TikTok.
Yeah, but I mean, look, Jay Shetty has been the number one at the moment, and what he has brought in on his podcast has been spectacular. And I love the fact that it is a variety of different people. It is doctors, it's mental health professionals, it is celebrities, it is gurus, it is a variety of people. So big ups to him.
Sadhguru.
Big ups.
That would be sick.
That would be cool.
Why not? Man? He was on Joe Rogan.
Oh wait, sorry. What's the name?
Sadhguru?
Oh, Sadhguru, yes. Okay, yeah. Sorry. I actually was listening to him the other day. Because of you. Because of you. Robin Sharma.
Yeah.
But again, I heard of Robin Sharma before Jay Shetty, but listening to him on his podcast has led me up to a whole lot more. And I think the 2 of them, there's so many, right? Oh, Dispenza, Joe Dispenza. Yeah. Okay.
I haven't read his stuff, but everything he says matches.
Yeah. My partner introduced me to him, and like that has been. And my partner, when he introduced it to me, I actually don't think that I also listened the way that I should have. Like things just resonate with you, but then you don't really practice it.
True.
Yeah, and so those three right now have been who I've been listening to the most, or who would be like gurus. But I would say Jay Shetty's been. I just finished his book Think Like a Monk, which you're reading now. We're gonna talk about that in another conversation. But yeah, like I really like that. What about you? Who's your gurus?
I mean, they could also be dead. Like
yeah. Oh, my sister. Yeah, my sister.
Or maybe I don't know what should ask that question.
Well, I mean, you don't have to.
No, my question is, are there any people in just the history of mankind who you think were enlightened? That you would consider that they were enlightened?
Mandela. Nelson Mandela. Yeah.
It's not. I mean, like what he says matches.
Yeah. I think everything that he's depicted in his journey of life, and the grace and humility and forgiveness that he showed through his jail sentence to his relationship with the gods in the I actually heard this. I mean, I knew this story, but I heard it recently again from Robin Sharma, so it feels like it's also so fresh.
Cool.
And he invited the gods who would have spat at him in prison and who would call him names, or peed on him. Like, he invited the warden and the guard to his when they bring you in as president?
The inauguration?
Yes, the inauguration. And he invited them to the inauguration. And that's another level of forgiveness. And what he was also trying to do was just the forgiveness of the situation and the people, because how could he move forward if he didn't forgive his oppressors?
Why isn't that highlighted more in like global history?
I'm not too sure, but it is one of the most amazing things. In South Africa, we have a thing called Ubuntu. Right? And Ubuntu has been something that I think all South Africans carry with pride, and it is, serving this kindness with one another. It is our connection with one another.
Can you say the English translation of it?
Sure. Ubuntu is an ancient African word meaning humanity to others, and it's often described as reminding us. This is actually what my mother has on her email bottom. She has this written down. I am what I am because of who we all are.
That's one, yeah.
Yeah, I am what I am because of who we all are. And Ubuntu, humanity to others, which is something that we should all be showing to one another, Ubuntu. And that has, again, just such a strong message that comes from Nelson Mandela and from what his role was in our lives. So I would say he was truly enlightened till his dying day. Wish he got to live longer to help our country even further. I think that we're currently searching for like the next Nelson, and that's hard to find because it doesn't seem like everyone's reaching that highest potential in that, like you said.
Sounds like ego death, right?
What do you mean? Explain more about ego death.
I guess first we gotta say, what is ego? I mean, I don't know how to explain ego. I think ego is just whoever you think you are.
Do you think ego could be that other voice that's in your head that's like driving sometimes when they shouldn't be driving?
Yeah, it's the voice that thinks it's like Alexa thinks it's the boss.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're Alexa.
Yeah.
Alexa,
maybe not a team player.
Sometimes.
On that management board. They don't always want to be in agreement with everybody.
Especially when the reason is not strong.
Yeah. Oh, then they can take over, right?
When the reason is strong, then they're like, okay, I'll join you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, you're so right.
But also, even if the reason is strong but the faith is weak, then again, it will come back.
Repeat that. The reason is strong, but the faith is weak. That's
the
very, very,
the
very
little
cool.
voice will have
very powerful,
more momentum. Maybe.
Yeah. That in a way that is also part of not believing in ourselves.
Yeah.
Right. Like maybe we have an idea then that voice is like, no, you can't do that.
It's like forgetting who you really are.
Yeah. Which comes back to spirituality.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to go to what my understanding of spirituality is, right? And then in connection to what some others have said. Something that I heard this a long time ago, but I only truly connected properly in this time here, like in the last few months, of really fully understanding what it could mean. In my perspective, again, like everyone has their different perspective on things, and what spirituality means to me could be different to somebody else.
Yeah.
And I think everyone, like we said earlier, like everyone should find the thing that matches their spirit.
That follow your gut.
Yeah. Gut health, man, in many ways. And the quote was that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, right? And that is, again, something that's said so lightly that people need to take the time to understand the sentence. That we are spiritual beings having a human experience. That means that just like Danny Morrill said, I need to find and discover God within me and within others to be at peace with how I am as a spirit, right? I'm adding that as a spirit. That all of us have a bit of spirit of God in us, who are choosing to have this human experience. And if we're able to actually, like, you and I are not just human beings sitting here, we are spiritual beings that are here connecting with one another. And Nick, you and I obviously made a choice to connect with one another. And I think that people, or myself, truly didn't properly factor in what it means to be a spiritual being. And when it's talking about finding myself and finding myself on this journey, it's about connecting with who the original spirit is. That's it. Like, I need to actually connect with my authentic self. That is, in my opinion, what it means about finding your authentic self and being your authentic self. Because that's thrown around everywhere. You know, be authentic, but it's like, what is your authenticity? And if you don't sit with yourself and sit with the spirit that is you, not even within you, that is you, then you're not going to be able to find that, right? The sitting in front of the mirror and talking to myself, I've been doing that a lot lately.
Cool. That's powerful.
Big changer. Absolutely big changer. Meditating for 25 minutes and then sitting in that meditation space and then talking to myself.
Kind of nice.
Oh, man. But I say talking to myself, but like I'm talking to my spiritual guides, to my spirit self. So like I'm speaking out and then like I'm giving myself answers through the same thing. And you know, people say like, oh, I don't understand what you mean, like does it like magically appear or something? So I'm gonna try and explain what that feels like and what it sounds like, and then just maybe be a bit simple on the explanation. I'm gonna try my best.
Sure.
Okay. If I'm talking to myself and I'm asking my spiritual self for an answer, and there's like an immediate answer that comes back in my head, like I just get the response.
All right.
And then I'll be like, no, that's just you. You know, that's the thing. People think, oh, but that's your thoughts, right? Like your thoughts are telling you what you're thinking. So how do you know that that is another voice that is speaking to you?
Oof, wait, hold on. Your thoughts are telling you what you're thinking? What does that mean?
Like, you know, because people, when they hear about like, oh, like something spoke to you, they're like, I just heard myself. But it is you.
Right.
You're the one
yourself.
talking.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's also yourself.
so like people confuse the fact that like I think they think they're gonna hear some magical person speak to them. Like, you know, like it's not, or like some other voice that's
like
gonna pop
Freeman
up in the yeah. Like, you know, but it's not like that. It's us. Like, you know, we're connecting with our spirit self.
Yeah.
The one that has lived in previous lives, the one that is having this human experience in this life. So they're able to say, yeah, we feel like this sometimes, or maybe you shouldn't do this, or like, and like, no, you're on the right path. Like, this is good. Let's try this as well. This has worked for me. Let's carry on, you know. But it's like intuition.
Exactly.
It's the intuition, you know. And again, just people can't differentiate all these labels.
And I think most people have a hard time getting in touch with intuition because they never talk to it.
Yeah.
So how like it will respond if you ask. Like, like if you ask the question, if you want the answer, whatever, right? Like ask that specific question, and it will help.
Yeah. And I think this is where sometimes people forget that, like, that's what talking to God is.
It requires faith to do that.
That's what talking to God is.
Yeah.
And that's why those who, so I'm not gonna be talking too much about religion, right? Especially from the family that I come from, to give them that respect, like, of that. But talking to God is talking to the God within you. The reason why you get answers, even as a religious person, is because you're doing exactly what a spiritual the label of spiritual person is doing. It's just that you're not being confined to the organization of the religion.
Yeah, you're just playing a different game.
Right? Yeah. I feel it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's
I think for, at least for me, for like most religions, it feels like it's the same thing.
Yeah. And I mean, for me, all religions teach the same thing, which is love thyself, be kind to others. Like, love is the answer. We should all be loving one another. We should all be treating each other with grace, including ourselves. Yeah. And so if the spiritual beings recognize that we are all spiritual beings with this human experience, then we'll all be much kinder to one another, because we'd understand that that's the journey and they need to connect with themselves, you know. And many people just forget that. But I'm gonna go back to the talking to myself thing. Those two ways of speaking to myself, three ways. One was talking to myself in front of the mirror, looking myself in the eye. Looking at myself in the eye, because how long do you really do that for? Where you connect with yourself and you look at yourself in the eye and you speak to Nick, like, hey Nick, and you say your name, like actually saying my name and being like, you know, Shardale, like, I got you, like, this is so good that you did this today. Oh no, you are not doing really well in this, you need to, like, work on that. I have those conversations. Something that I learned that my partner also, like, taught me was, at the end of the day, is to go through your day and go through what went well, what went wrong, how could it have been better, and what would I have wanted differently in the day. And so then I make sure to work on those things in the next day. And
it sounds like Kaizen.
Explain?
The Japanese, like,
you're so amazing with the amount of information you have. Sorry, like, you know, you're so smart.
Kaizen is like what you just said, basically. It's like do an audit of like what went right or wrong during your day and write it down. And you intentionally improve these things like throughout your week or something.
I heard this from Enslin, my partner, as well as Matthew McConaughey. He talks about that. He talks about the writing as well. Like, I mean, he would have been someone that I heard last year speaking about writing, and I was like, this is a good reminder. I need to do it. And did I do it? No. No, I didn't. And I go up to the rooftop of my apartment, and then I love being in nature and I love just being outside, and so my rooftop just offers this open landscape of the sky, and it gives me so much of joy, and I love having conversations with my spirit in there. Yeah, that's been amazing. And so like those voices that come in, it's like a quick, like, oh yeah, I could have done this, and it's like, oh well, you know, maybe you could try this in another way. Okay, I'll give a perfect example for today, right? Okay, so when before Nick and I started this podcast, I asked for him to give me his hands so that like we could hold our hands in a connection with one another. And I got that from when I was on the bike on the way home to get ready to come here. I was having these conversations with myself and being like, what are things that I'm excited to speak about with today? What is the path of this conversation that I think it might go? And I didn't want to think about it too much. I was just asking for guidance, you know? And then it was just so instant. It was just like, make sure that you connect with him and that you guys have a moment of prayer in a way. We had a moment of breathing in 3 times and ending it with an Om together.
Yeah.
And knowing that this is a place that we're about to connect in, right? And I got that answer from my spirit guide, from myself today.
Awesome.
Like, you know, that's what happened. No lies about that. And if you look at my thing, it said start with a meditation between you both and hold hands, connect. Right, like I wrote the note down as soon as I got home, like to make sure that.
Yeah, because it could like fade away if you don't write it down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to miss out on those things. I started to write down things a lot more over the last few years, but that's just for work.
That's what I got.
That's for work as well, because I was a manager, a head teacher in my last job, and so there was a lot happening, and so I did need to like write things down because I'm naturally forgetful. Hence why I brought the laptop to a podcast conversation so I could remember things, because I don't know how people like remember as much as they do. Oh my god, when I listen to some of these podcasts and like all the quotes that people remember, you are a perfect example of that. Like I could not guy. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we spoke about so much.
We actually answered with my question that was, how do you connect with the higher power?
Oh, nice. I'm so happy to hear that. This has been wonderful, actually. Thank you so much for giving me the platform to be able to do this. I would have been very nervous to do this like a year ago. A year ago, me versus today is very, very different. Thanks. It's showing. Like I think because I'm actually evolving and I'm on the path, there's so much going right.
Yeah.
And you know, again, I think that's also something people hear. They'll be like, oh yeah, when you're on the path, you'll see the signs, or you'll get like, things will just be going well because you'll be believing that it's going well. Yeah. It's because you know that you're in good hands. It's because you know that like, there's a full belief that everything will be okay, and everything will be okay.
I keep forgetting that.
Like, even if something bad happened, everything is going to be okay. That's true. I've already known that in my life, through all the deaths that I've experienced. Each death elevated me in a different way. True. And then, like, and I may have thought, what a horrible experience I was going through at the time. But I'm fine now. Everything is okay, you know. And I lost my beautiful dog Amira last year, and I would say she was the catalyst for me waking up. I feel like I was asleep for the last few years, and we've discussed this before. Like, I feel like I was on autopilot for such a long time, and there's so many things I don't remember because I was on autopilot, and I went through like deep depression in some places. I definitely felt like I had like just given up on so many occasions. And then just when I thought that like I was doing okay, then like I'd drop down, and I was very clouded by things around me through the trauma that I wasn't healing. And then like I just carried that a lot. I didn't acknowledge anything. I wasn't really healing. I wasn't really facing myself. I actually think that sometimes like my inner demon didn't want to stare at myself in the mirror for too long. Like in the blog post I wrote yesterday, I wrote about the relationship with my body, and I'd put on so much of weight in the last few years that when I looked at myself in the mirror, I felt like I was looking at an elephant. And I love elephants. Like, I mean, it's on me. I really do. And I would look in the mirror, but I couldn't look for too long. Like, I didn't like what I saw. And I honestly think that was my inner demon being like I looked at myself. And I'm meant to be looking at myself and connecting with myself. But I couldn't do it for too long because I hated what I was seeing. And it really was a detriment to my overall health in this time,
that is the lowest frequency, right? That's shame.
Oh yeah,
it's lower than guilt.
The self-loathing was insane, absolutely insane. I would think about like how I would be even portrayed by others, because I had people who also spoke really ill of me, and I think I second guessed so much of who I am as a person. I really listened to what people said. I really did.
Oh, I wanted to actually tell you about how my journey began, to see, I don't know, just what do you think about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Because actually I was here at the place we call DMZ on the podcast, so I have no legal dangers.
Okay.
So it was my first year there, and I just went to some cafe to have lunch.
Yeah.
They had vegetarian lunch. But anyways, there was a book there that said "Teach Yourself Zen."
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me just read this book. I'm into Zen or whatever.
I need to see it. Right?
Yo.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, I didn't know what Zen was, but I just thought I think I should know about this.
Yeah.
Right? So I read the book, and one of the parts was oh yeah, what if you're the whole entire universe experiencing itself? Yay! It's wait, who's Nick?
And
then I was like, fuck you, that's scary.
Nice. But it shouldn't be scary. What's scary about that?
It's when I first read it, I was like, wait, then who am I, right? And but it's scary, but I love scary movies. So I would keep watching those. So I was like, I want to keep looking into this.
For me, something like that gives me some calm.
It should give you calm.
Yeah, it gives me some calm, and it gives me some peace.
I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, that's But how do you feel about that now?
I think it's still I'm still evolving to.
Yeah.
At whatever pace I'm going at.
Yeah. What's the scary movie? What are you looking for in the scary movie that you watch?
Entertainment. I want to be scared. I want to feel something.
Well, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I actually have been a horror movie fan for so long, and then I don't connect with it anymore.
Yeah, now it feels weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it feels weird. Except for Chucky, number 2 is so funny.
Chucky,
oh my God,
those are funny. The last movie that really probably scared me was The Conjuring.
Oh yeah, that's pretty scary.
Because it was true. It was a true story, and I knew the story before.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
I think I read the book. Yeah, it was crazy.
And then, as a kid, it would have been The Ring. Bloody Samara boy. Coming out of the TV and the well.
Oh, yeah.
And funny enough, me and my friend Steffi, so when we watched that movie, somebody had called the phone off.
That's awesome.
That's funny. Okay, I needed to get you there. Do you want me to move it back?
Yeah.
Okay, you check. Right.
Oh, there you go, nice.
Yeah, because you were talking, I needed you to give you space.
Actually, there's more. Wait, let's go back. Actually, there's more.
Yeah, okay, good.
Because actually, after that happened, I got super curious.
Yeah.
And I knew a monk on Facebook that I had met him in my Celta training.
Okay.
So then I was like, hey, can I ask you about Zen? He's like, okay, come to my pagoda in Funyuan.
Nice!
So I went to his pagoda. And like,
what an interesting experience to go through.
yeah, I thought we were gonna like talk about Zen or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, hey, come hang out with my friends. And like, okay. So I just go and we just have fun with like him and like 3 girls.
Yeah.
One of those girls later became my 3-year like girlfriend, like serious relationship.
Yeah.
Which is now ended. But anyways, like this is actually how we met.
But it brought you. What a great way to meet.
That's how we met.
And to think that is a monk, right?
Yeah.
It's a monk as a friend that you went
yeah.
to. You didn't even know what you were walking into, and then you went to his hometown.
No, he's here in Funyuan, like the district Funyuan.
Oh, okay,
but still,
alright.
it's like a cool pagoda, like deep in the alley.
Yes.
Sick.
And then that led you to like a love of your life at the time.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Look what happens when you as a human being open yourself up to connecting with another human being. Many people don't take the plunge like that. To go as a stranger, to be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go here. Many people don't take that. And look what an experience that brought you. What did you learn from that?
Well, like, the monk gave me a bunch of books. He's like, just like after we hung out, here, just take these. Get out of here.
Yeah. Which book resonated with you the most from those?
The first one I picked up from there was Power of Now.
Okay.
And that resonated with me because when he was talking about how his mind would argue with him, and it made me think of 2 things in my past. One was when I got ghosted by my last girlfriend in America.
I'm so sorry. This habit of ghosting you.
And I'd never been ghosted before. I think I had ghosted before. I think so. But
it's not a nice feeling.
It's not nice. Yeah.
It's not nice.
So like, and somehow like I stayed committed to her for a whole month. I was like, no, maybe like whatever, like we'll just fix what, I don't know what's wrong. Maybe we'll fix it or something, right? Yeah. And then after the whole month, I see her in university again. It's a small university.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, can we talk for a minute? And then she was like, I'm busy talking to my friend right now. And I was like, yo.
Alright, what a dick.
I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, fine. But I can't. But then I was like, no, fuck that. And I went back, like, yo, let's talk right now. And then she's like, oh, okay. Then we go to the park. And then she's like, yeah, I mean, I just want to be friends. I was like, why did you just
So
tell
why did
me
you
that?
say anything? Yeah. It's like people don't like confrontation, but then they forget that actually communicating would go a long way. Like, I don't understand why we can't just communicate with one another in a simple way. I mean, look, if emotions are involved, then, and if you feel that like you're getting too strung up on something, you should take a break. Like, I wouldn't consider that to be ghosting. Like, sometimes my partner and I, if, and we used to be very bad at this. We'll be responding when we're angry and emotional. But we, recently, in the past year, it's been much better where we've taken the time to have a time out. If something, like we've had a conversation, and then maybe like he's not ready to respond to what I said, and he'll just not like continue further, and he gives himself a few days, and then he replies later. And then I've been doing the same for him for those instances where maybe I'm not in the right like mental frame to respond, and I'm doing that for the love of our relationship, because I want to make sure that I'm responding with a calm mind, and also after a few days your perspective can change on things. You're a bit more grounded on it. So
yeah, that's true.
People really need to learn how to communicate. Like if she just said, I'm a bit confused in how I'm feeling. I'm gonna take some time, for this, and I'll get back to you. And then later it's like, hey, you know what? I just want to be friends. Or if she knew already that she wanted to be friends, why not just say, Nick, I'm so sorry. I don't think that this is gonna be anything more than friends. Could we be friends? It's so simple. I don't understand why it's so difficult.
The last thing she said to me, in person, cause I guess I said something that made her see I was not mature enough or mature enough for her.
Yeah.
But it was true. I wasn't mature though. That's actually true. But anyways, the last thing she said to me was this: bye.
No, like that?
For real, yeah.
That's how she said it?
That's how she normally says it, so she was trying to be normal, I guess. She's like, bye.
But it wasn't even actually a normal interaction. It's like you were just
I didn't know she meant bye forever.
She just rejected you know?
She meant bye forever.
How do I put this man down easily? I'll just be myself. Bye!
like, oh, that went well. I was like, oh, that went well. I'm so glad we talked about that. I was like, no.
Did it really go well? No, not at all.
But the thing is, like,
people.
while I was being ghosted, I heard my mind get louder and louder and louder and louder. And after she finally broke up with me, I felt the loudness decreased significantly.
Because you knew, right? You got the answer.
But that was the first time I ever thought, like, why did I experience that? I've never experienced that. My mind was so fucking loud for such a long time. And then after I got the answer, then the noise just decreased.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I don't know what that was, but that could come back again later. And then I just continued my life. Like, I don't know what to do about it. That was fucking weird. I was so tripped out.
Did you put pressure on yourself about the situation?
I might have. Maybe.
Like, prior to seeing her, did you have pressure on your head about the relationship, or like how it was making you feel, or like even just the overthinking of I hope she's okay, wait, what is she doing, why is she not messaging me, like all of those things?
I mean, she was busy doing like her thing, and then I think like in that time I was like, yo, like when can we hang out, like we have like no time to hang out or whatever. Maybe the way it came out, maybe she was like, oh fuck this.
Yeah. And so like for a month she was also, so when you say ghosting,
she wouldn't answer any of my texts.
So you were messaging, and
she would not.
And then maybe if she messaged, it was just one word answers.
No response. And it would say seen, and when I saw that she saw it, I would call her. And then no answer. I was like, I just saw you fucking see it right now.
Well, I mean, look, in that instance, I would say that's that invisible pressure that we also talked about as well. I actually just wrote a blog post about the invisible pressure, like, and how much of unnecessary pressure we put on ourselves, and then we carry that on our heads, or like all the overthinking that happens in that instance. So like in a case like this, which by the way, I'm guilty of it, like I've had your experience in my own way, where I have given far too much of my time and thinking and energy space to a person who didn't actually love me back, or like they couldn't communicate that way, and then I was maybe being clingy, or I didn't want to let go of the image, but like their actions were showing me that they didn't want me, yet I kept chasing, like I kept continuing, right? We all did that. So like that is what you did. But meanwhile, like if you were, let's just say we'd reached, this is what I assume, that like if we've reached a sense of strength in ourselves, and if someone showed us that they were treating us that way, then the best thing to have done would have been like, all right, I didn't hear from you, this is done, have a good life,
exactly.
Bye.
Now it'd be so simple, just
right?
Like I mean, now I think of like a 3-day 3 days.
Sure.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's like no response in 3 days. That's cool. I'm gonna continue my thing.
In 3 days, I mean, sure, anybody might have a very busy life, but your phone is always attached to you in this life that we have.
Cyborgs now.
Like, that's another topic. But like, just a voice note, a quick one.
Yeah, it takes a second.
Like, I'm so sorry, I'm a bit busy, I'll get back to you in a few days, but I am thinking about you. I'm just not, just those things, make a big difference instead of just silence, right? Or then now, like, I mean, if it was a breakup story or like whatever, it's like I'm so sorry, like I don't feel this way, can we just be friends, or I don't think that it's right for us, let's move on. All of that makes sense, like just a simple communication with one another to send a message. We have the time, we have the time, we all have the time.
Yeah, for sure.
3 days is fine.
and like not even anger, they'd be like, okay, bye. And then
exactly, right? You shouldn't, because then like you'd be carrying the trauma, energy, stress from that situation onto your like moving forward. But you should be, that chapter's closed, let's close it. You said, you showed me your colors, it's bye. Bye.
Bye.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so happy that this guy introduced you to
Eckhart Tolle.
Yes.
Who I would classify him as enlightened.
Okay.
Eckhart Tolle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. What else has been a spiritual time for you in your life that even led you to want to do this?
Oh, right. Nice. That's literally what happens next. So he gives me the books and I read them, and then first I don't understand shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm reading Krishnamurti and it's like so fucking deep. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. But as I was searching it on YouTube, it would like, I guess my algorithm picks it up, right? And gives me people who can explain it like more simply, not so deep like him. I couldn't understand yet. And then I see Alan Watts comes up. You know Alan Watts? I think that was maybe what really got me into the algorithm of like, oh, this is the shit I'm trying to.
Yeah.
It matches what I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
And then as I kept reading more, like I was trying to find the end, like the finish line. I'm like, I'm so close. I feel I'm making progress to the finish line of this shit. Like I'm reading for 2 years, just trying to find the finish line, until I realized like, wait, hold on. The same shit that they're saying in this book is the same thing that's like been shared in a different country, different time period,
100%,
by a different culture. Like, why is it matching in like Sufism and like so why is there's a pattern?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Just like all the religions, right? They all teach the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a pattern.
And I thought first, oh, I found a pattern. Now I'm gonna find the end.
I hope you know now that there's no end.
And I tried as hard as I could to the point of like physical burnout.
Yeah.
And luckily, I had a spiritual group here in Saigon.
Yeah.
And it was led by Guy, this like old American guy.
Okay. Oh, I have a good friend named Guy. I do.
Like this Guy that I know from here, he wears only white every day. Yeah. And
well, I specifically chose white also for today.
Sick.
Yeah, I did. I was like, what do I want to wear today that would also be peace to myself and like I would feel comfortable in, and the kind of color that I want to portray. And yeah,
nice.
white was it. Yeah, nice. That's nice.
Should have some white on today too.
But
yeah, like I was like, oh, like we had a discussion. Like every Sunday was like a non-dualism discussion.
Yeah.
And after after like a 2-3 hour discussion, like I'm just like, oh god, my head. And then he's like, what happened? He's like, I'm reading too many books. Like I keep trying to find the ending. And then he's like, why don't you just chill out?
Like you're taking it way too seriously. Like you just need to breathe.
I forgot I could do that. I was like, I forgot that was even an option. And then I was like, oh, true. Oh
my god, that's funny. So how do you feel about that? Like how are you feeling now? Do you feel like you've let go and you're allowing, like you're going through the process more, or are you still stuck on finding the end?
It's like because I've let go, then more insights come faster.
Good. That is exactly it,
so
right?
Then it's like, okay, continue
like working on the journey.
Yeah.
And everything will just come to you like it did for me. Like I said, like there was just that clog. Everything was mounting, the invisible pressure.
Yeah.
I need to do this, I didn't do that, and then if I didn't do something on one day, I was so hard on myself. And then now it's like, all right, this is today, I'm grateful for today, and then like, you know, I'm ready for all that you have planned for me, like all that's in store.
That's a good habit to have too, to be grateful.
Oh yes.
Like you're doing it a lot in the jungle, right?
Yes.
Plus the jungle is fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was such an amazing experience.
The swimming.
Connecting with nature is always a must thing for all of us to do.
Yeah.
Like it's part of this energy that we feel around us is coming from all that Mother Nature has given us, that is around us. All the plants, the trees, the flowers, the animals, the majestic creatures that we get to share this earth with. This one earth in this multiverse that we have. Well, one earth, in this universe, in terms of all the multiverses. No, there's many earths. But like, but there's so much of energy given from being out in nature, and we should never forget to connect with that, like, and to live harmoniously with our earth. Oh man, I gotta say, like, I'm gonna digress here for a little moment, but it's so sad that when COVID happened, that when everything shut down, it was evident that the earth was healing. It was evident that Mother Nature was getting some of her glory back in those things, and that the animals could come out more, that the pollution was less, and it was so nice to see. And it's so unfortunate that there's so many lessons that were learned during COVID, and as a human race, I think I was really hoping for more of a, hey, we went through this and we learned from it. Let's try and be better. Let's try and work on a better way to balance what we're taking versus, what we're giving versus what we're taking.
True.
And, it's unfortunate. I feel like everybody just went back to
business as
life
usual.
Business as usual. And that's just been very sad to see. But anyway, the most I can do is just work on myself. And my sister's quote that she has on her WhatsApp is be the change that you want to see in the world.
It's like Mandela, that's what he wanted.
So yeah, that's all that we can do. And through our journey, through the change that we're doing for ourselves, that's the way that we're going to be influencing others, just by being us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was even contemplating that whole what's your purpose in life kind of thing. But the purpose in life is about you connecting with your spiritual self. The purpose of life is you finding your authentic self, and everything else should fall into place from my understanding.
Right.
That is my understanding of it now. And I don't even know what's going, I'm not not like there's a finish line, but it's not like I'm still getting answers. I'm still trying to figure things out. Hence why, at the beginning of this conversation, I said, I'm nobody here. It's not like I'm some special guru that you decided to come speak to. I'm just somebody who's really at the middle, the middle of this heightened journey that I'm on. I don't know what the end or the other future results are going to be, but I know that I just got to trust it now. I just got to see how it unfolds and not think too much about it.
I feel like just the stuff that holds me back is my human nervous system.
And trying to kind of learn how our brains work and how to
who knows? Casino owners.
With the air, right?
Know.
The air that they put in.
They actually study exactly human basic survival skills.
Yeah.
And they include those in their machines, so it triggers those survival skills.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the kind of air that they put into the casinos, which keeps people apparently more awake.
It might. Hey, that makes sense. And also, I heard they make the exits really hard to find.
They do. They really, really do. You're very right about that.
I think
exactly.
Is it time?
Okay, wait, but how you want to end it?
The 5 questions. Oh, God.
Why do you want to end it? Okay.
Peace. Any shout outs?
I think I know a way to end it.
Yeah.
I think I do. I'm sorry, I'm saying sorry. Anyway, I say sorry a lot.
It's okay.
I say sorry a lot. I need to stop doing that though. But I'm
will say don't say it because it means.
I think it's a South African thing also, because as South Africans we also are very polite to one another, and then sometimes, but we say sorry often for nothing.
Hawk would tell me never say sorry because you're telling yourself you feel sorrow.
Interesting. Because you tell yourself you're feeling sorrow. Oh, I need to think about that. I need to sit with that for a bit. All right. My grandmother had a saying that was called "one day at a time," and she used to. There was a song actually. A Christian song or that she knew that she used to sing to us growing up, and she always told me that when she died to sing that at her funeral, which I did as her casket was going down. I don't think that I learned the magnificence of that quote until I practiced it actively. To actively listen to the daily choice of what one day at a time means. Because every day is a new day, and every day is a day that we get to choose ourselves from the morning till the time we go back to sleep, and then we do it again the next day. But if we think too much about what is happening or what could happen in the future, that's out of our control. Completely out of control. I think I saw a quote recently that says, worrying about the problem is like worshipping it. Right? And like, how can we worship something we have no control over? How can we like give that power to worry? All we can do is focus on today, because we know now, like, this is today. I can choose to take care of myself. I can make the active choices to be healthy for what I might be doing in that day. We spoke about this similarly in the beginning, actually, about daily choices. But one day at a time. Like, one day at a time. Don't be hard on yourself. Remember that you only have this day that you're in. You know, yesterday is gone now, and it's never too late to change. And I never thought about what a big thing she was saying of this song, and it is something that is now like our family motto. One day at a time. It's something that we do say to one another.
Nice.
And I love that.
Rush.
I absolutely love that. And it will probably be, you know, there with me forever in my life, one day at a time.
That's powerful.
The lyrics to that song is even about take me to the stairwell and in showing me how to climb. And for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. Yeah. I'll send you the lyrics to the song. If I start saying the lyrics, I'm gonna start singing it, and we don't want that right now. You know, we need to go for karaoke. Yes, but like, I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, I think if there's one thing that I'd love everyone to do is take it one day at a time, and talk to themselves in the mirror. I know it sounds weird. And it's going to be weird to do. It's going to be weird to do.
I mean, some people have, like, just how you said, like, it feels difficult to look at yourself sometimes.
Yes, but sit.
To make the eye contact.
Sit with yourself and do it. Like, it is. And it's 100% it's going to be like, no, I can't do this. But then you need to ask yourself, why?
Exactly. Why
can't you do it?
Yeah, why is that weird?
Like, so...
It could be fun.
It really is. Like, I really think that, I mean, even in terms of the self-loathing that we were discussing, whatever I saw myself in the mirror, like, I forgot to take in what was beautiful about myself. And, you know, and I just kept looking at all the lumps that was on my body and not considering, you know, the beauty that is Shardale. And, like, even, it's so strange to even say that, because I feel like sometimes, again, listening to outside voices, it would be like, oh, she thinks too much of herself. But I actually just lost that.
I mean, it's like, I think a lot of myself. What's wrong with that?
I'm so happy for you. I actually don't.
I'm saying, like, you could do that. Like,
think a lot about
like, not even be like, I don't think I'm better than you. I just think I'm fucking big.
Right? Yes. That is profound and powerful, and I like that. Like, it should
and it's
be
like, you
about.
could be big too.
I should exactly.
Right?
We should
it's
all
like,
be. We should all be our best selves. We should all have the ability to be our best selves and make space for one another in our own space. You know, speaking about, again, just to go back, about a spiritual being having a human experience, I also feel that that is also why certain people don't get along, because their spirits don't get along, or their spirits recognize each other and they're like, that's not what we should be engaging in. Like, there's a conflict.
Just like the frequency doesn't match.
Yeah, the frequency is and people should listen to that. People should. I have not listened to that, and it has led me to make really crappy mistakes, or like even just be in dramatic situations that I don't need to be in. Yeah, I think anybody now who isn't aligning with me in the way that I would want my surroundings, like my community, to be, then I do keep them like at arm's length.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of like choosing what your
It took
algorithm
me
is.
a long time to do that, Nick. A long time. So yeah, I hope that it's
But now it
only.
feels good, right?
It does.
Now it's like, stop.
It does, and it's not like I'm rude to the people, but it's like, okay, you show me your colors here. I feel like we don't vibe. My spirit and your spirit are not. We're not here.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I'll talk to you. I'm polite, but I ain't sharing. I ain't connecting with you, because when you connect with someone, then you're also connecting to their demons, and you need to be like wise about you need to be wise about the demons that you choose to bring into your life.
Yeah, because some people are not even trying to heal.
Yes, that's a big thing. That is a big thing. And
then if you hang out with them, like, now you gotta deal with your own and theirs too. Like, that's a lot of work.
And I think there needs to be a choice. Please don't get me wrong. Like for you, for example, we become fast friends. We've connected in this way, hence why you opened up this platform for me to come in. And I actually don't think that I would have been comfortable with just anybody. So thank you so much for like giving me such a safe space to do this in.
Sure.
And like for my first time on such a level, and someone who doesn't like cameras.
It doesn't seem like it though.
So I really don't. So this is very nice, but it's a safe space that was created here. So
cool.
like that is why I'm feeling comfortable too. Anyway,
sweet. Awesome.
I digressed. And I lost myself. But we do need to go. I know that. Yeah, I know that. But you know what? I will just end with thank you for the safe space.
Sure.
Right. What were we talking about, Nick? We were talking about connecting with other human beings and making the right choices.
Skibbity and biscuits.
No, you're not helping. You're not helping. Well, I'm glad this happened right at the end. I did very well throughout the whole conversation. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I look forward to seeing how this goes.